Hey everyone, welcome into another episode of the Inside Voice podcast. If we have not been formally introduced, my name is Jess, and I'm so glad you're here. We are in the midst of season 2, almost to episode 20 of season 2, which is really exciting. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We are in the best time of the year. You know, we just wrapped up Halloween. We're counting down to Thanksgiving. We've got Christmas right around the corner. And yes, the Christmas music has already started. 'Tis the season. Now, I'm one of those people, I definitely go all in on Christmas, right after Halloween. Usually within the first week of November, the Christmas decorations have gone up and the Christmas music is definitely on full blast. Are you that type of person? Maybe you wait a little bit. Maybe you're a mid-November. Maybe you're one of those strict people that is like, look, I'm not doing anything before Thanksgiving, or I'm not doing anything until December actually arrives. But there's just something about having the tree up and the Christmas decorations that just makes the home so cozy that my husband and I are obsessed. So definitely going to be decorating this week, if not, definitely the weekend. But let me know your thoughts on when Christmas decorations should actually go up. I'd like to know where you fall. With the holiday season just about here, you're going to be around a lot of people. And so I thought we could do one of our favorite subjects and talk about people. Now I know so many of you right now are thinking, absolutely not, cannot stand people. Even the thought of just being kind and courteous to a stranger out in public, forget about it. Oh, that person cut me off in traffic. They're dead to me. I'm gonna lay on the horn. We have such an issue with people, and it's at different levels too, right? I mean, it's easy for us to have a bad attitude when it comes to people that are really far away from us because we're not that emotionally connected to them. But then there's another layer. There's the people that we do interact with on a daily basis, whether it's our coworkers or maybe some of our acquaintances and friends that aren't super close to us, but we're still conversing with them somehow, some way. Maybe it's just on social media because they don't live in the same area that you do. And then, of course, we've got family as well. And as much as family is wonderful and just a great blessing in life, family can also be really difficult. So I thought it would be really beneficial for us to dive into each layer and talk about how we can better get along with other people, better operate in society, better operate with our friend groups and our coworkers, and better operate with the ones that are closest to us as well. The people that are close to us by blood, but maybe not necessarily because we've chosen to be close with them. You know what I mean? It's just a thing. People are people. And some people are easier to work with than others. But it's so crucial, I think, especially with this time of year. The holidays are a wonderful time. The holidays can also be a difficult time as well. So I think if we can really work on being better people ourselves and showing up better for others, no matter what layer we're operating at, I think it's going to make for a better holiday season and ultimately a better new year and I think a healthier life and a happier life altogether. So let's start with the outer layer. This one might be the most difficult for you to swallow, but I don't think it's the one that's going to hurt the most when we start digging into it. So we're going to start with a little bit of a soft toss here, okay? People that are not close to us and people that we probably are not going to be around more than once. These are people that you encounter in your day-to-day life, whether you're out running errands or maybe you go to church or you go to a school function or something. It's people that are on the outskirts that, again, you may interact with them a little bit, but the chances of you seeing them again or them coming over for brunch, highly unlikely. And there are a lot of people like that in our lives. I actually did a little bit of research here and a little bit of Googling and maybe a little chat GPTing. So take it with a grain of salt. It is the internet. But online, it says that on average, we come across 80,000 people in our lifetime. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But this is based on you coming across 3 people every single day, different people, different levels, different areas, strangers and that kind of stuff. But 3 people a day, every year for 73 years. That's about the average lifespan out there. The math adds up. You may come across 80,000 people in your lifetime. Isn't that crazy? When I read that number, I thought, there's no way. There's no way I've come across that many people. I don't run around with that many people. But these are not people that you know. Well, they could be. It's not just the people you know. It's not just the people that you interact with or you see every single Sunday or you see every Friday night at your favorite watering hole. Like, these are people that you just pass on the road or you walk by at a restaurant. 80,000 people in your lifetime. That's a lot. And think about if you like move a bunch of places or you travel a lot, like you're going to have more than that. And then you think about social media, and that just opens up a whole bigger world, a whole new world when it comes to people that you're coming across, whether it's on your explore page or you're just scrolling through, or this person connected to that person, or people showing up in people's videos and stuff like that. I feel like that number is probably a lot higher these days thanks to social media and how often we're engaged in social media. And let me tell you right now, we are engaged with social media. I did some research here as well. When it comes to social media, 65% of the world's population is on social media. 65%. Can you believe that? That is a lot of people. And of that 65%, the average number of social media accounts that those people have is 8 social media accounts. And I start thinking, like, there's no way. I didn't even know that there would be that many, social platforms. But you think Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and LinkedIn and like the list at dating apps as well. Like, those are social media apps. So yeah, the average person has 8 social media accounts, and 65% of the world's population, all 8 billion of us, has a social media presence and a social media account. Now, what about spending time on social media? Now, most people, and this is not just screen times, this is not just, we're binging a television show on Netflix, or we're, or on our phone looking up recipes or something like that. That's like general screen time. I'm talking specific social media accounts. How much time do you think you spend on those apps? Endlessly scrolling, maybe creating content, engaging with content, liking content, watching videos, that kind of stuff. On average, we spend 2 hours and 24 minutes a day on social media. That's a lot. Mine's probably a little bit higher, I'll be honest with you, because obviously I'm a millennial, and I do have a minor social media addiction. I use social media to do podcasts and stuff, but I also use social media for my job. I'm constantly going through Instagram, constantly going through different platforms, looking for stories to cover, looking for things to share with our audience. It's a part of my job. So I would probably guess, of the average 4 to 5 hours that I'm on my phone every single day, because I have the app that tells me, I would say at least 4 hours of that has got to be social media alone. And it gets worse like the younger you go in these demographics. So I think, the boomers out there, the generation above me, was that Gen X? Yeah. They're not as engaged on social media. They're not, quote unquote, as addicted to it. They didn't grow up with it, and they certainly didn't need it for their jobs back in the day. I think the millennials, like if I can just toot our own horn, we're the best generation, because we still had a childhood that wasn't overwhelmingly consumed with social media. And then like we got to experience social media at healthy levels. Like high school was MySpace, college was Facebook. You couldn't even be on Facebook as a high schooler when like it first came out, and when I was in high school. So you had to have a college account, a college email to be on Facebook. Yeah, that was the Stone Age. But, then you got the generation, Gen Z, and you've got Gen Alpha now, and that's like all they've known is social media. So again, going back to just the proximity that we have with people, it's grown so much over the years. And you think even way back, before the invention of cars, before the invention of like the steam engine with like locomotives or ships sailing across oceans, the circle gets smaller and smaller, and the people that you knew or you came across back in the day was so small. But now it's like we come across so many people with technology, that we just have to figure out a better way to deal with people. And honestly, I think when social media started, it was like, oh, this is an opportunity for us to learn from one another. This is an opportunity for us to connect with more people and get to know one another more. And it has just turned into this beast that can totally be used for that. But also, it has turned into a monster of comparison and competition and division and hatred and echo chambering and all sorts of misinformation, whatever you want to call it. And now you want to throw AI into that? Oh my gosh, it's a lot. This is not turning into a podcast where I just knock on social media the entire time. But I will say that it has hurt us when it comes to being social. You see this in studies. You see that now more than ever, we are less social, we are less forgiving of other people, and we're less cognizant of how to actually operate in a society. I keep hearing the George Costanza on Seinfeld when he like yells at that person. He's like, "We're living in a society." I don't remember if he was on a subway or something like that, but it was just one of those moments where you expect somebody to be like human towards you. Like you expect a normal social conversation with somebody or an expectation of an action from them and they don't do it. And you're just like, wait a minute, like we're all in this life together. Like that's what he was saying when he yelled that out. I'll have to find the clip and show you. But imagine if we showed up in the real world the way that we do on social media. Do you realize how awkward that would be? Like, what if as soon as somebody started talking to you, you're like, swipe. And somebody else starts talking, swipe. And you're on to the next one. I don't see us out there, when somebody does something that we like in public, you're going like, love, double tap, like, retweet, like, share. Like we're not operating like that. And trust me, we are definitely not saying the things that we're saying in the comments out loud. Like no way would anybody be that disgusting and vile towards somebody else in the comments. You know what I mean? I would hope that the good things that we say in the comments, like, yay, so proud of you, this is awesome, love this, that we would say that stuff out loud. Doesn't typically happen. And we definitely are not saying the mean things either, Like social media is just kind of skewed the way that we show up in society. And it's hurting us. Like I said, it's making us less social. It's making us less forgiving as well. I think we forget sometimes that like people are people because we engage so often with people through a screen that it's like we dehumanize them, they become an object. It's weird to say that we objectify them, but that's kind of the way that it's become, that we don't know how to do real life with people anymore. And I think it's time that we got back to those basics, you know what I mean? Engage with people less online and more in person. At the end of the day, I feel like we need to treat people like people, you know what I mean? And I think we as ourselves need to show up as people more often too. We're too busy showing up as content creators. And it's weird. We used to care what people think. Now we care what everybody thinks on social media, which makes us really care what people think off of social media to the point where we're like paralyzed. We don't want to say anything or do anything in front of anybody because, oh my gosh, they might not like me. It's like this vicious cycle. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, just treating people like actual human beings, treating people like people, it's such a necessary thing because life is so hard. You know what I mean? We all get hurt. We all stumble. We all fail. We all feel insecure. We all feel doubtful. We all go through these negative emotions, these negative moments, these negative feelings. And like, it would be nice if we all kind of just understood that about one another and maybe like gave somebody a head nod in public of like, hey, I see you, I get that you're in this society, you're in this world with me, you know what I mean? And I know I keep ragging on social media, but it's just put us in this place of we're not connected anymore. I don't even know if we're connected with ourselves, to be honest. Is the person that you show up as on social media the same person that you're showing up as in life? I don't know. That's going to be a question that you have to ask yourself. Oh, this is so random. It just came to my head. Do you remember Khloe Kardashian had a body transformation show or something like that. And she kept saying it was like, I want to help people like help themselves mind, body, and soul or something like that. So she would like take them through fitness classes and nutrition stuff and like just kind of help them like take better care of themselves. I'm a sucker for those things. This is why I do this podcast. And there was a guy on there that he was an influencer, right? And he had all these followers on social media because of like the fancy nice clothes that he would wear, and he like came clean to Chloe. He's like, I don't even own those clothes. I go to the store and I try them on and I take all these photos and these videos with them like in the dressing room, and then I post them on social media. Like he wasn't even showing up as his true authentic self on social media. Now I know that there's a lot of people that do that. I get it. I don't get it. Like that's not the way that we should be operating. But, and I'm not trying to like rag on this guy, but like, man, what a lonely life. That the moment you close your screen, it's like, you don't even know who you are because you're not showing, that's not who you are. That person that you're presenting to the world is not who you are. It's just something that I think social media has really hurt us in, you know? And so again, just trying to see people as real people, whether you're engaging with them on a phone or engaging, you know, on a screen, or engaging with them out in the real world, like in life, you know? We need connection. We are very much created as a community. We're very much created as people that are social, people that need connection, need fellowship, and thrive when we have those things. Studies say that healthy connections actually give us better health, like they can affect our actual physical health. Healthy connections give us better happiness in life and a longer life too. Now, on the opposite side of that, not having that connection actually leads to, you know, physical and mental decline, a shorter lifespan as well, and just a real lack of like a quality of life. And so I know you've got your people, and I know that you've got people that you are close to, but I think also being able to like recognize that we're all on this earth together would give us a sense of connection that I think we are lacking. You know, we can go on social media and we can find everybody that agrees with us, and then it's like we go out into the world and we're just ready to fight. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Or vice versa. You know, we might have everybody around us in our circle that makes us feel like we're right about everything that we get on social media, and we're ready to fight, you know? And I think it's just because we are craving true, authentic connection, whether it's with people that are closest to us, you know, that middle circle that I talked about, like colleagues and stuff like that. But also, I think we need that from people that are around us, you know, just understanding that like the people that are on the subway with you, or the people that are sitting in that restaurant with you, like we're all like, we're like in this together. That's what the pandemic should have done for us. You know what I mean? Like, it totally divided us, but what it should have done is made us all realize like, oh my gosh, we're all in this together. Like, I don't know, it's probably been a long time since something like this has happened, but I feel like we're in this weird state right now where we all have an instant connection because of what we've been through. You know, we all went through that pandemic across the globe. Like, we should understand that about one another. We went through something that was absolutely terrible. Don't get into the nitty gritty of like this and that and opinions and blah, blah, blah. But like, we went through something that just sucked, for lack of a better term. Don't you think that should make us want to relate to one another a little bit more? Or don't you think that would connect us a little bit more? You know, like we should be leveraging that to feel like we're not strangers on this planet, you know? And we already feel lonely anyway. So it would be nice to like maybe reframe our thinking into like, oh, like no, we made it through that together, you know? Like we're bonded by that. It's kind of like when September 11th happened in 2001, it was like that is something that bonded people across the nation. And going back to loneliness, there's a study that says that 21 to 24% of people feel lonely, with 20% of people saying that they feel lonely most of the day. It blows my mind that that is a thing. Because again, we're in the most connected, I say that with air quotes, earth and population that we've ever been in. We can connect with anybody on any continent if we wanted to through social media. And yet, we are still incredibly lonely. And it's getting worse. You engage more with social media. You think about the younger generations like Gen Z and Gen Alpha, where they're online and on social media more than maybe my generation was as a kid. They have the highest rates of loneliness. And it's mostly 18 to 34-year olds. Those younger generations are not getting the connection that they need. And unfortunately, I feel like they're not being equipped to connect with people either. And I think at the end of the day, we talk about connections of what we've been through and stuff like that. I think we can all connect on just simple, basic things that we all want as humans. We all want love. We all want safety and security. We all want peace. And that's something that honestly we could create for one another if we just put aside our pride and strapped on some humility. You know what I mean? And I think ultimately we are too busy making ourselves the enemy. Like, I have to hate you because of this, or I don't feel as good as you do, so I don't like you. And it's like, wait a minute, can we just back up for a second? Like, can we try a little bit better, like connecting with people, relating with them, with people, or just like not being mean about it? You don't have to be best friends with everybody on the planet. There's no way you could be friends with 80,000 people. If that's how many people you're coming across every single, throughout your lifetime. But like, just understanding that, like, again, we're in this together. I keep coming back to that. And, there's a scripture that talks about how our issues are not with one another. It's in Ephesians. It says, we do not war against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness. Like, we are not mad at each other. The issue is not me and you and me and them, or, whatever. It's me and the devil. All he seeks to do is to steal, kill, and destroy. And he does that through comparison. He does that through condemnation. He does that through judgment. He does that through division, through making everything like an us versus them. And if somebody's doing well over here, it must mean that I'm doing terrible, and vice versa. Like, it's so dumb, because it's like, we're better than that. We can rise above that and actually love one another. And like we talked about, those things that just basic things that we want and need. I think we all want and need love, security, and peace. And we can create that for each other. You know what I mean? Like, we have the key to change someone's life. We have the key to connect with one another, but like, we all got to step up and use it. So what does that look like? Each week, as we go through these different layers of people that you deal with in your life every single day, I think there's antidotes for each one, or there's like a specific thing that we could practice in order to help us interact and operate within those layers. You know what I mean? So when it comes to people, when it comes to strangers, when it comes to people that you're just coming across in your everyday life, I think the key here is kindness. It sounds so cheesy. It sounds so elementary. It sounds so like, well, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. There's something to that, you know what I mean? But I think extending kindness and the things that come with that, which in my opinion are love, compassion, patience, selflessness, empathy, if we can put those things on each and every day, oh my gosh, this world would be such a better place. You would feel better operating in this world as well. People around you would feel better operating in this world if we could just all show up and just be kind to one another, right? I'm a firm believer in like small things adding up to make big differences. And if we could all just be like a little more kind, just a teeny tiny little small bit of kindness each and every day, planting those seeds, how great of an impact could that make on a bigger level? I believe we all have the power to make that change. I really, really do. So how are some ways that you can be kind to others? I think anytime that since we talk so much about social media, I think anytime that you're on social media and you start to feel a negative emotion, get off of social media. If you feel the negative emotion before you get on social media, don't even get on social media. All it's going to do is make the problem worse. Whether you're feeling bad about yourself, depressed about something, angry about something, indignant about something, social media is not going to be the place that's going to fix that for you. Okay. There's a slight chance that it could, but more often than not, all it's going to do is fuel the fire. It's like social media, I swear, is listening to us because it knows as soon as you get on what to feed you. to make you more angry, to make you more depressed, to even on the brighter side of things, to make you happier, to make you feel more motivated, like I just feel like it's got this weird like AI ooh that like it knows. And then you start engaging with that stuff and it shows you more and it shows you more and it shows you more. Like there's a slight chance that when you're already feeling negative emotions and you open up social media that it's going to get better for you. It's probably not, because they want you on that platform and they want you to stay regardless of what emotion you're feeling. So be very, very careful with social media. Another way that I think we can practice being kind to others is to look people in the eye when you're engaging with them. Look people in the eye when you walk into the convenience store gas station, Look them in the eye when you go to the register and you're purchasing your clothes at the department store. Look people in the eye when they're taking your order at a restaurant. Like, look people in the eye. I think that this reminds us that we're humans, Like, I see you and you see me. I feel like we've lost that because of social media, because we're so used to either looking in a camera or looking at somebody through a screen, like we talked about earlier. So look people in the eyes, and when they talk, like, actually listen to them. Don't freak out so much about trying to respond. Just listen. Sometimes people just want to be heard. You know what I mean? Another way that I think we can practice kindness is to practice empathy. Trying to see somebody as more than just what they're presenting, trying to see somebody as something more than their appearance, what they're wearing, what they're saying to you, like trying to really see that person as a person, like we talked about earlier, but really trying to relate to them, to hear them out. Like empathy is such a strong trait that is so beneficial for us as a human society, as a human race. I think that oftentimes we get so wrapped up in, well, if they just knew this about me. We think that a lot about ourselves. If they just knew that I had this pain that I'm carrying, if they just knew that I'm insecure in this area, if they just knew a little bit more of my story, they would understand me a little bit better and I wouldn't feel as judged. Flip that around. If you're thinking that, I guarantee you they're thinking the same thing. I wish this person just understood a little bit more about me. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got hard things that they've been through. Again, we talked about the pandemic. We all went through that, okay? We all had like fears and insecurities and doubts and outrages and all sorts of things during that period of time. So there, you already know something about somebody without ever having to say a word to them, okay? There's your in. But I think also like there's weights that people are carrying. There are hurts that people are carrying. There are frustrations and fears and negative emotions that people are carrying. And we're all carrying them, And it's not a competition of like, well, who's carrying the most? Or who's hurt the most? Or who's gone through the most pain? Like, we could go all day talking about that, But I think just understanding that if I'm carrying something, there's a good chance that they're carrying something too. So the least I can do is be a human to them. The golden rule, right? Treat people as you want to be treated. Interact and show up around people and, operate in society, if you will, around others as if you know what they know, as if you know what their pain is. If you're thinking, I'm carrying something, understanding that they're carrying something and showing up for them in the way that you would want somebody to show up for you is so incredibly valuable. Some of my favorite little things that I like to do out in public, since I am so passionate about this, I love to give compliments. Not like I'm genuine about them. It's not like I'm just, okay, well, if I don't find something about this person to compliment, like I'm a failure. Like I do look for things. And if I don't see something that I feel like confident complimenting on, then I won't. But I have no issue telling people like, you have really pretty eyes, or, oh gosh, look at your smile, or, wow, I love that nail polish, or, oh my gosh, your hair, look at that. That's so cute. I love to do that because, man, just the way people light up, even if they're like, oh my gosh, my hair is awful today. Even if they're like, oh gosh, I look terrible. It's something about letting people know that they're seen that I think just rocks their world. Again, it is something that is so small and maybe it won't mean anything in the moment, But maybe later in the day, they're like, oh man, that made me feel so good. Or maybe that makes them want to compliment somebody else. Or maybe that's something that they hold on to when they are in a hard place or a dark spot. Again, it's so small, and so many people think that is so dumb, Jess. Like, that's so insignificant. But I think it means a lot, so I do it. So if you want to do that, go for it. The other thing that I really enjoy doing, and this annoys my friends so much, my husband can't stand it. I use people's names. Not like over the top, but just once in an interaction with a waiter or a store clerk or something. If they, especially if they're wearing a name tag, yes, I'll try to use their name from their name tag, which I know sometimes can be a little bit creepy. But if they actually say their name, and oftentimes when you go out to eat and that waiter comes over and they're like, hi, my name's Jim, or hi, my name's Allison, or whatever, and then they go to take your order, like, I feel like, okay, well, I'm gonna use their name. Just one other time. I'm not going to overdo it. It's not like every time, oh, excuse me, hey, Allison, can I get some more pepper? Oh, Allison, this, oh, thanks, Allison, appreciate it. No. Like, but just once to let them know, like, hey, you said your name. I recognize that you're a person, and I said your name back. Like that to me, I just think when somebody uses your name, like you just feel like you're connected to them. It's like they know who you are. Such an easy way to show somebody kindness or empathy or, hey, just, I see you. So this is the first of our people series. I hope that you will stick with me as we dig a little bit deeper. And, next week we're going to talk about colleagues and people that you do interact with on a consistent basis, but they're not like super close with you. And then we're going to get into the nitty gritty of family. That one's going to be fun. Prepare yourself now. But I hope that this week, you can just find ways to be kind to other people. Maybe it's letting somebody in on the road when they're trying to merge. That is an act of kindness, and it doesn't cost you a lot. You're not going to be late wherever you're headed if you let one person in. Maybe it's looking somebody in the eye like we talked about. Maybe it's getting on social media with the intent of praying for people rather than judging people. Social media can be a place of prayer request for sure. Maybe it's just sending an encouraging note to somebody, even if you don't know them. There's times that I feel compelled to do that, but there's also times with people that I know but not super well that I'm like, I feel like they could just use a little encouragement. Just pass that along. Like it really, it doesn't take a lot out of you, or it doesn't take a lot of time either. So I would challenge you this week to look for ways to be kind. I would challenge you to look for ways to see beneath the surface with people and really just try to, like I said, see them as people. Whether you like it or not, you're going to be interacting with a lot of people as we move through the end of the year, out in the hustle and bustle of the holiday season. So go at it with kindness. I'll see you next week.